Welcome to the shop. All right, I got to admit, I've got a bit of an issue. I'm addicted to anything that flies, whether it's fixed wing, drones, warbirds, fixed wing FPV. I love it all. And if I could fly every day, I would fly every day. But obviously work and things get in the way. But one thing that happens is every once in a while, family's got to go on vacation. It's something that you probably should do every once in a while. But for me and my addiction issue is when I think about leaving and not flying for a week or so, get a little bummed out. So what I typically do is look at what can I bring that flies. What is it going to be an environment where there's a big open field and I could fly maybe some fixed wing, maybe a little UMX turbo timber? Maybe it's going to be someplace that's a little packed in, but fun for adventure. Maybe go some long range with one of my FPV wings. Take this guy out for long range adventure. Who knows, right? Or, it's tight and it's time to just take out the quad and fly around, maybe do some reconnaissance in the area that I'm at. So in this video, what I want to kind of cover is just the stuff that I typically bring on those kind of trips, because I can't bring my gigantic backpack. There's not enough room in the car. Plus, packing some of this stuff. Some of these planes are fragile unless you put them in that box like the big, the UMX kits that are great for that. But sometimes you can't bring all of this gear. So, again, in this video, I'm going to kind of go over what I bring, what I've learned about stuff that you really need to bring on these trips, or else you're not going to fly as much as you'd like to. So, hope you stick around. Thanks. All right, let's talk about the options with this guy. And this is a plane that it's out there. It's $120 for the setup of ready to fly. You got a simple to use radio and good for beginners, meaning if you want to hand this to somebody to fly around, they're going to have a great time with it and it's easy. Pretty maneuverable. It's got everything you'd want from a flyability perspective. You could get pontoons for it, take off from a little pond. Issues with wind and weather, of course. The thing that I like about this kit here is I don't need, for charging batteries, that particular charger here, which is fantastic. I can use this guy right here, and this will last a long time for charging up those little batteries. Bring along some spare parts and stuff to fix your plane. And I always keep an extra propeller, a propeller shaft right there, additional AA's, because you're going to need those for your radio. But this right here is everything. Don't keep this and don't keep the heavy stuff in here when you're traveling. This box is great. You can throw it anywhere and it's going to protect it. But, obviously this kind of stuff flopping around is going to destroy your plane pretty quickly. So be cautious of that. Anyway, great kit. Has some downside from a weather perspective and a strength perspective, and just keep that in mind. All right, here, fantastic, the UMX Turbo Timber. I know they just came out with a new one, but regardless, this thing, as far as from a box perspective and just being able to just throw this in the back of a truck, throw it in the back of a car, not a problem. More gear, at least for me. There's a couple pieces that I have to bring that won't fit in here. I guess I could figure out a way to jimmy my radio in there. And I also have a charger. Now, this particular case, where I went just last weekend with this, it was at a cabin. I have electricity. I have AC power, so I could charge up my batteries and keep this guy going. I will say, please buy a couple of these little kit. They come in a bag of like 4 or 5. This is something that comes in the field with me now all the time. Because in this particular case, for whatever weird reason, I lost the landing gear. It came out when I was doing stupid stuff, trying to land on a cornhole, thing, and broke the gear out. So made it a little rough. Regardless, have some extra gear. The nice thing about this plane, even if it's a little windy, the plane flies fantastic. Not so easy for your friends to fly. That is a downside. But again, if your friends are there, they're going to make you do stupid stuff. So make sure you have Blenderm tape, a little of that, and maybe even some spare parts. If you got them laying around, might as well bring them because you're probably going to need it because you're going to do stupid stuff. Right, you want something quick, throw in the car and run with a handful of batteries. Charger, you figure that out. This thing, from a standpoint of practicing and flying around, doing hovers, Harriers, just extreme maneuvers because of the massive surfaces and what this plane can do. Great plane to bring, and it's tough as hell. You can throw this on top of some gear in the back of your, in the back seat. You're not going to break it. And if you do, again, bring that foam tack. It's going to save you every time on these trips. So fun, great plane. This one actually does go with me everywhere just because I like to practice. And this is something that really helps my skills, and it's fun. Can somebody else fly it? No. If you're trying to introduce your friends to it, now this probably wouldn't be the best and ideal scenario. But great one to just grab and go anytime. Holy cow, would I love to bring this. However, it's big and it's a little on the fragile side. I could take the wings off, split them, and deal with that and have it a little bit more compact. And that's an easy way, if I had to do this, because I'm going to a lake, I want to throw the pontoons on it and take it out. Boy, what a great way to have some fun on a lake, or do some bush flying. Model Aviator just did a video on him and his buddies doing stupid stuff, bush flying around a lake. Awesome. If you haven't watched it, you got to see it. Anyway, love this plane, but it is hard. I rarely will take it out, out to the, camping or on a vacation trip with me. Would love to, but just ain't going to happen. Here's another setup. So this is the DJI FPV Quad. Phenomenal piece of equipment. Couple things that make this just cool as heck. One is it is digital camera system. The quality of the image is spectacular. I take this down to my buddy's farm, or this is ideal for a place where not a big fields, but there's beautiful areas to fly around and just kind of explore. This is also something that can be flown with this device here. For me, I have a hard time going back and forth between a quad and my planes because some of the controls are different. This is simple. It is literally just moving my hand up, down, left, right, and throttle. A couple cool buttons to do things. And this guy does all the rest of the work. It is a spectacular, amazing, fun way to get up in the air. A lot of people get excited about this as well, to give them an opportunity because it's super easy to fly, especially with this thing. So handles 20-mile-an-hour winds. It has incredible range. Great system. Batteries last quite a while. Everything I have in this kit, from all the adapters, things to clean the lenses, extra propellers, things like that, all in this kit. Great way to travel, and that's it. Throws it anywhere, and you can take it along. Heck, you could throw this on a plane or bring it on a plane with you if you wanted to. Great solution for getting your fix on flying. The next option for my FPV, as far as take to a trip, is either one of these guys. Typically, the wings will pop off and it transport's a little easier. I could even take the tail section off if I want to. This, I actually have a Pelican case and the whole thing fits inside that. So I could easily travel with that along with all my kit associated with it. Batteries, charging, and so on. These don't handle the wind as well as some of the other systems. They will fly in a tighter space. This one just recently, did a video where basically bombing through a bunch of trees because my buddies thought that would have been a neat thing for me to try to do. So had a lot of fun doing that. Again, these things, when you take them with friends, they're going to crash. And that's where bringing that foam tack and spare parts and such comes in handy big time. So think about that, as far as when you're packing up your kit to go on a trip, make sure you can repair it. Nothing worse on your first flight. Something breaks, a prop, and you don't have another one, and there's no hobby shop around. You're not going to get one, so you're done. So think about it. Okay, so I got to tell you, I love this setup down on my friend's farm, a place where I can fly this wing and just go. Of course, line of sight always because FAA rules. But holy cow, this thing's fantastic with the DJI camera system, as well as I have a 4K camera on the nose for just recording and just cruising around my buddy's farm, going to between trees and just exploring. You know, obviously the radio, battery packs, charging system, and the goggles. And again, always, now in some cases, you know, I do bring my whole backpack, but a lot of times I just bring a spare kit of extra props and little things that might break while we're flying these things. But I got to tell you, you know, traveling with this is a little tougher, no doubt about it. From its size, I gotta kind of be careful. I can't throw anything on it; it'll break. It will come apart on the wings, but some of the stuff that I have running out to the wings, like in this case, the transmitter or the receiver for the controls is out here on the wing, and regardless, not taking this thing apart. I'm going to keep it like that. So traveling is a little trickier for this particular setup. It'll handle wind, it'll handle anything, but you need a little more space on launching and on landing. So you need a little bit of a field. Not something that's anyone can fly. However, they can look at the video and see where you're flying and, you know, get people excited that way. So let me summarize a little bit. Oh, one more thing. These guys, these little E-Sheen planes that come in a box. Holy cow, what a deal. For $100 on Banggood, it's actually another pretty good travel option. Comes with all the batteries, chargers, and everything you need. Got to put in some extra pieces, but not a big deal. So real quick, you know, going on these trips, it's always fun, I find, to have some time to grab one of the planes, because I love to fly, and just get some stick time in, whatever it might be. Might introduce somebody to the hobby that you didn't expect they'd be interested in. Just an opportunity to get out there and do some fun. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe. If you have any questions about the planes or things that I've done, leave a comment. Appreciate it. Have a great day.